Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode. Today, I'll be taking you through another trading. Today, I'll be taking you through another trading strategy. What we will be looking at is the EMA and the VIDyA Crossover. Now, we'll be looking at the EMA, which by now you should be familiar with, and then this new indicator. We'll go through what these indicators are, and then we'll be building a very basic crossover strategy based on these two indicators. So as I said, we have already looked at the EMA indicator, right? The EMA is your exponential moving average and is used most of the time as a kind of dynamic trend line. Okay. The VIDyA is short for variable index dynamic average. Okay. This indicator is an adaptive moving average that dynamically adjusts its sensitivity based on market volatility. Okay, so this is an indicator based on the volatility of the market. It was developed by Tushar. It combines the features of the Chandler momentum oscillator and the exponential moving average to reduce lag during volatile periods. Okay, now we will be looking at, as I said, the combination of these two indicators. So what we will implement is we're going to use these two along with the RSI, right? An RSI just to filter out false signals. Okay, so we'll look at the crossover, right? Or price must close above the VIDyA indicator for a buy signal. And then if price closes below, that will be for the sell signals. So we're looking at the crossover of these two indicators with the RSI being above for buy and then the RSI being below for sells. Okay. So now we're gonna continue over to our meta quotes to develop our trading signal. So now we're gonna right click on our folder, create a new project. We're gonna give it a name, which will be EMA VIDyA RSI. Okay. Next. Okay. So as usual, what we want to do is have some key global variables, right? You want to have your timeline defined. You want to have your stop loss, your take profit, your lot size, and then the indicator, buffer variables, and all of that. So let's get started. We're gonna look at, first of all, including our then we create our handles, our EMA handle, our VIDyA handle, and our RSI handle. And this will need their buffer values. So we'll create along with that some buffers. Okay, so we have that RSI, and then we're gonna look at our current close, previous close. Okay. Now some input values we're gonna define will be our periods. Yes. So we're gonna have our EMA period. It's gonna be we're gonna make that 50. Input RSI period. It's gonna be a default of 14. Our no, okay. Then we're just gonna have our SL points. Let's say 250, and then our take profit points. Which will be 500. Okay. Yes. So we're gonna go back to adding the VIDyA periods. We need to have two periods, right? The slow period and the fast period. So we're gonna say VIDyA period 1. We're gonna just use the default periods for now. We can always adjust those. That will be 12. Okay. What else? We need our lot size. So double. Gonna use 0.1 and our time frame. Yes. So we're gonna define our time frame. To periods current. Okay. If we have anything else that we need, we're going to come back to that. So in our on init, you're gonna define each of our handles. Shift is always 0. We're using exponential mode, and then the price we're applying this to will be our close. Okay. The next will be the RSI. So symbol, time frame, RSI period, and price close. Okay, so then we need to create the handle for the last indicator. You're gonna have the first period here. So VIDyA period 1, and then VIDyA period 2. There'll be no shift, and we will be applying it to close price. Then we need to set our arrays. Will be EMA buffer true. Gonna copy that. Gonna have our RSA buffer, our period 1. Oh, just one period, yes. Now, for our trading strategy, what we're going to do is we are going to look at oh yeah, there's one more thing we need to do before we continue. There's some more variables we need to set here. Sorry. So we need to set our ask and our bid variables. Yes. That's all we need to set for now. So what we're going to do is see okay, sorry guys, so another variable we need to set, I'm always forgetting about we have to always look for a new bar, right? So detect new bar, right? So before we continue with that, we'll have to go back up here and then set this variable total bars to 0, and then in here what we'll do is have another variable called bars, which we're gonna set to bars, right? So symbol, then the time frame. Then we say if our total bars are not equals to bars, meaning we have a new bar, then we can continue in this code block. So I have total bars now set to bars. Okay, so now we can do the rest of our coding, which is you're gonna copy buffer. You're gonna have the EMA handle. The buffer number for EMA is always just 0 because there's only one value returned. Then starting position will be 0, and then the number of values we want to return is going to be 2. Okay, then we are storing this in our buffer. Okay, now just going to copy and paste that a few more times. Then this will be our RSI, and this will also be our RSI buffer. This will be our VIDyA handle and our VIDyA buffer. Now for our before we get to the actual strategy, let's retrieve some values. So the first one is going to be the close of the previous candle at this time frame, and then the shift is going to be 1 because we want the previous close. And then okay, so for the current close, we're gonna use the iClose similar to above, except for shift it's gonna be 0. Okay, then we get the ask price. Remember, it's I always seem to forget this. It's symbol info double, yes. Then we have the symbol, and then we want the ask price, yes. And similar to that is the bid. So for the bid price, right. Okay, so now we are actually implementing our strategy here. What we're gonna do is say if our current close is above our VIDyA buffer, and we want to detect a crossover, right? So we're gonna say our VIDyA previous was lower than our EMA previous value, and now the current one is above the EMA buffer. Okay, so and then to filter this from a false signal, we cannot look at our RSI being above 50. Okay, and then if that is the case, we will enter a buy trade. So I'm gonna say trade. Okay, must have done something wrong here. Okay, this needs to be capital letters. See trade. Okay. Yeah, that should have. Yeah. So now this should be buy. And what else did I miss? The variable is not, the object is not being created properly here. So there is a, yeah, a small spelling mistake. Should be MQH, not MPH. Okay, right. Okay, so let's try that again. Yes. So the volume that we want to buy is our lots, and then the symbol, the price will be the ask price, and then our SL is our SL level, which we are going to define now, and then our TP level, and just a short message to show what we are doing here. Okay, so now we need to define our TP level and our SL level. Okay, so we'll do that. First we need to declare those variables here, TP, SL. Okay, then we say TP. Okay, then we normalize the values, and it will be our TP points times the point system, and we're gonna limit it to the digits of this point system. Okay, then we have Excel, and SL points. I'm gonna say ask plus this. And then here we're gonna say ask minus this. Okay, so that is basically our buy signal, and then here we're just gonna duplicate that and then swap this to get our sell signals. Okay, and for the GP we are going down, so we're gonna minus and then plus, and this will be our bid price, not our ask price, and then we'll say this is our sell. Okay, now anything else? Nope. Now we're gonna compile, see what we missed. Oh, SL levels. SI is undeclared. Yeah, that's another thing you need to be careful of when you're dealing with MQL5. MQL5 is a case-sensitive language. So when you're creating variables, or even just creating variables, you need to be very careful with the case of the variable name. Okay, so now that I've updated that, I need to correct all of these as well. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna bring up our chart, and then we can test it. Let me refresh my indicators. Okay, and then in our code to code folder, we can see today's value, and we'll just test it here. Let's okay, let me get another symbol. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're getting some errors here. It's saying invalid stops. So we did something wrong. Let's go back, have a look. it should be okay. So I actually let it run. After running a little longer, it actually did open some positions. I guess the lot size versus the uh, SL and TP points is where the issue is. So you might want to bring down your lot size or increase your points um, for the take profit and stop loss. So if we, for example, change this now to gold, um, and then run this, we are going to see so we should see some change now. Okay, so this is gold. It's running, hitting stop loss, hitting stop loss, hitting stop loss. Okay, so I'm hitting take profit. Okay. Yeah, so as you can see, a little profitable, a little not so profitable. So you might want to add some more indicators or some more filters just to validate your trading signals. Um, that will be all from me today. If you like this and want some more of this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.